This was embarrassing. Lack of heart, intensity, effort, energy. Our star player nowhere to be found. And the Cleveland Cavaliers lose in what was a closeout game to end the series and advance to the ECF. They fall at home to the Detroit Pistons in a blowout. You're watching Cavs Now, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. We're going to talk about the awful news the Cavaliers fans have to endure now. And I'm starting with Donovan Mitchell. And let me preface this by saying, I love D. Mitch. He's my guy. Tonight, 6 of 20 in a Game 6 in Cleveland. Your season's on the line. Think about it. This is the golden opportunity. It's in Cleveland. You lead the series 3-2. You win tonight. It's game over. Goodbye. Losing and going back to Detroit, tied 3-3, I'm not as confident about that all of a sudden. 2 of 6 from 3. 3 turnovers, 3 assists, and only 18 points on 6 of 20 shooting. You want to be called a superstar, you don't do that. You don't have performances like that. And so what I saw from Donovan Mitchell tonight was embarrassing. I expect to bounce back in Game 7. I'd love to keep my hopes up and stay optimistic about it. But how can I say that right now? Maybe the ankle's still bothering him from 2 games ago. It didn't seem like it affected him that much. He kept playing. And this was inexcusable for Donovan Mitchell tonight. I just wish the Cavaliers played with more intensity. Detroit, obviously they're going to come in. Their season's on the line. They've been great in this playoffs when their season's on the line, when they're facing elimination. I just read a stat that they've won the second most games when facing elimination in playoff history as a 1 seed. I wish the Cavaliers would play with that same intensity. I get it. You're not facing elimination tonight, but you might as well be having to go back to Detroit now all of a sudden. You didn't come out locked in. There was no heart. It's embarrassing. In your own home court, in the land, you couldn't defend it and end this series once and for all. And so I just wish the Cavaliers played like it was their last game every game. I wish they would come out with that intensity because they didn't have it in Game 1, they didn't have it in Game 2, and I freaking got on them and let them hear about it. The next 3 games, loved what I saw, especially in Detroit even. Team basketball, they made that late run, they didn't give up. Tonight, it was like they gave up when the game started. And in the biggest closeout game of the year, with a chance to get somewhere you've never been, Donovan Mitchell, they blow. James Harden is actually the best scorer for us tonight. Led the Cavaliers with 23 points. But you see that stat under it? 8 turnovers in a closeout game. Now, one of them wasn't his fault. Dean Wade slipped. If you watch that play, comment down below. I saw that. We got to get a new 3. We need some wing depth this offseason. Okay? Let's just get Kawhi, LeBron, or Giannis. I don't know. Get one extra. It doesn't even have to be a player of that caliber. Get somebody who could start at the 3. It isn't Dean Wade. It was better than Dean Wade, and this is a finals roster. But now we have to talk about a Game 7 against the Detroit Pistons. Harden, 6 of 13, 3 of 8 from deep, 7 rebounds. Again, wasn't the worst. It wasn't the problem tonight. The turnovers were the problem, but he was one of our better players scoring the basketball offensively. I want to know, Cavs fans, what is your one-word reaction to this loss? Comment one below. If you get to sum up how you're feeling, your reaction to this Cavaliers blowout loss in Game 6 at home, what would that one word be? Let me know about it in the comments section. And then we got to talk about the refs, and we got to talk about some more ahead of Game 7 for Cleveland. But first, let's shout out Prize Picks, today's sponsor. It's the place to go if you love daily fantasy sports. Player picks on fire right now with playoff basketball getting going. There's no better place to cash in while watching sports than with Prize Picks. You guys can follow me on the app and see all of my lineups. Username's JoeyOD1. Get my picks before I post them on the show. Also, you can follow your friends, share lineups with each other, and explore your favorite celebrity lineups. You know why I didn't win my Prize Picks lineup? Because I believed Donovan Mitchell was going to go out and be the killer and freaking take us home. But he didn't get more than 26.5 points. He had 18. 6 of 20. I was right about Jared Allen. I knew he would be good for us. I was right about Paul Reed having more than 5.5 points. The dude had 17. It's ridiculous. I do love playing Prize Picks, though, and I'm going to have a lineup for Game 7 that'll be even better. So make sure you guys download the Prize Picks app and pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. By the way, new user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Link is in the comments section and description of today's video, and that is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it is good to be right. The refs were an issue, but I'm at the point where I'm not even blaming the refs for tonight. The Cavaliers didn't show up. They didn't play with the heart and intensity. But there were multiple points during this game, periods of time, where I said, it's refs versus Cleveland. You know, we do live watch parties for the games. Make sure you tune into those if you're not already. Multiple instances during this game, I said, that is a BS call. And then Detroit would miss the free throw after, and I'd say, ball don't lie. Because there were some ridiculous calls to Cleveland. It was almost as if the NBA wanted a Game 7, which of freaking course they do. But that's not why we're here. We're here because the Cavs didn't show up. Now, Allen, once again, played relatively well for Cleveland. 5 of 6, 8 boards, 13 points. I love what he's done for us. He's battling down low. He's fighting for offensive rebounds, put-back layups. He's easy to find. He's big. He's strong. A good defender. I love having Allen and Mobley together in this lineup. But unfortunately for the Cavaliers, it's not enough. You need Mitchell to be the guy. You need Mitchell to be the one, and he wasn't tonight. Cunningham wasn't even great. I'm sorry, he wasn't. And even when he had 39 a game ago, he had some costly mistakes and turnovers. Cunningham is a problem handling the basketball in 2 different ways. It's a problem when he's on, because he got hot at one point. It's also a problem when he's turning the ball over 7 times. The dude's had 4+ turnovers in 11 straight playoff games. That is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. And so Cleveland should be taking advantage of that, winning this series. And yet they're blown out in a game where Cunningham does that. I'd also like to see Mobley stats too, because, you know, that duo of Mobley and Allen, it was almost trying to keep us in the game. You know, Mobley still being aggressive, 18 points, 6 rebounds. Didn't shoot it great for a big, though. Nailed a couple threes. He stretches the floor in that way. This really all comes down to Hart and Donovan Mitchell tonight. Why the Cavs lost. And Harden's turnovers. Duran had a bounce-back game. I'm going to be honest. 15 and 11. He showed up tonight. And you know who else showed up? Paul Reed. We're getting cooked by Paul Reed. 17 points, 7 of 9, and an and one that sat on the rim and went in after like 10 seconds. I just hated it. I hated what I watched tonight, chat. And I better not see any sort of lackadaisical effort again when we start Game 7. Cavaliers lost the turnover battle. They had 20 to the Pistons 17. They got out-rebounded 43-40. Offensive rebounds are probably the thing that frustrates me the most. The Pistons getting 3rd chance opportunities, 4th chance opportunities. Cleveland got a couple of their own, but like you see, not enough. And so, chat, ladies and gentlemen, watching the Cavs now, probably hard to put yourself into the optimistic mode right now, but I want to know, who do you have winning Game 7? Do you have the Cavaliers bouncing back in Detroit? Type CLE if you think Detroit wins this one. And then the Cavs season is over. Type DET. I think there's going to be some major changes in the offseason if the Cavs lose in Game 7. But I'm not there yet. I'm going to believe. I'm going to choose to believe in Believe Land, and I am picking the Cavaliers to win on the road in Game 7, just like they won on the road in Game 5. but they did not win tonight in Game 6. Let me know your prediction in the comment section. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button for Cavs videos and live watch parties. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. A lot of fun doing this Cavs channel. If there's diehard Cavs fans out there, let me know about it by subscribing. And I'll see you guys pretty soon. Hopefully the Cavs can bounce back Sunday. I'll be live for it. See you soon.